The Mueller report, nearly 2 years in the making, settles one issue, but leaves another wide open for debate. Today, the Attorney General sent Congress a summary of the special counsel investigation. It says there is no evidence the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with Russia in 2016, despite multiple offers of help from the Russians. On the issue of obstruction of justice, Mueller did not conclude the president committed a crime, but did not exonerate him either. However, Attorney General William Barr, who was appointed by the president, said there was no evidence of obstruction in the report. Tonight, President Trump is calling it, quote, total exoneration. All of this sets up new battles between the White House and congressional Democrats. Major Garrett begins our coverage.
This was an illegal takedown that failed.
Before departing Florida for Washington, President Trump declared victory.
It was just announced there was no collusion with Russia, the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. There was no collusion with Russia. There was no obstruction and none whatsoever. And it was a complete and total exoneration. It's a shame that our country had to go through this. To be honest, it's a shame that your president has had to go through this.
In a 4-page letter to the House and Senate Judiciary Committees, Attorney General William Barr summarized the results of Robert Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation, which concluded the special counsel's investigation did not find that the Trump campaign or anyone associated with it conspired or coordinated with Russia in its efforts to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential election. This, Barr's letter added, despite multiple efforts from Russia and affiliated individuals to assist the Trump campaign. On the question of whether the president obstructed justice, Barr said the special counsel stated, quote, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. Instead, Mueller left it to Barr to determine if the president committed a crime. Barr wrote to lawmakers that he and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein concluded the evidence is not sufficient to establish that the president committed an obstruction of justice offense. He added, the report identifies no actions that were done with corrupt intent. Since May 2017, the special counsel's office has issued more than 2,800 subpoenas, executed nearly 500 search warrants, and interviewed approximately 500 witnesses. It charged 34 people and 3 companies. The findings were released after Barr and Rosenstein, seen leaving their homes early Sunday, spent the weekend reading Mueller's report at the Justice Department. Mueller himself attended church services near the White House today. His work finished, but the political wrangling only just begun. Democrats immediately pounced on Mueller's statement that the report did not exonerate the president. 2020 candidate Kamala Harris said a short letter from Trump's hand-picked attorney general is not sufficient. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler said he would call Barr to testify in light of the very concerning discrepancies. Earlier, he demanded the report's full release.
What I know is that it's critical that everything in that report and the underlying evidence be public, be open to the American people.
The top Republican on the House Judiciary Committee objected to revealing all the evidence.
And it's amazing to hear my chairman say that he wants everything out there. Well, I would ask my chairman, does he include classified information, which has never been released to the American public?
Barr himself said it was his goal to release as much of the special counsel's report as possible after continuing his review. He did not give a time frame for that process. The president and his supporters said it was time to move on.
Let me say this for the 400th time. The president did not do anything wrong. He didn't engage in collusion. I think now that is proven beyond any doubt.
Same thing on.
And he did not engage in any kind of obstruction of justice known to man.
It's clear Mueller's team struggled with the question of presidential obstruction, leaving that to the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General, both appointees of Mr. Trump. Regardless, the president's attorneys argue you can't obstruct when there's no underlying crime, meaning collusion. Democrats have made it clear they want to learn more, much more, about what the Mueller team found and why it wrestled with the question of obstruction of justice. Elaine?
Major thanks.